think I set everything up right. I hope I did. Let's figure that out real quick. Okay. That's up, that's up, that's up. Yeah, let's set it to that just to make sure it doesn't get a little crazy down the line. But yeah, here we are. Got just one VoD review for today. Got Edgy Jelly. And their main question was Eliza defense, essentially. How to not get run down. Part of it is sometimes it just happens. But let's talk about your options. Let's see what's happening. What you're struggling with.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
That's supposed to reset, isn't it? Okay. So, let's. Hello, hello. Whatchamacallit. So, brass is a very strong assist, and you can do a lot with it. And so, just putting it on the screen is going to do a good bit of work, but you can get more out of it. And so the reason I'm pausing here, the thing I'm thinking about, what are we using this brass to accomplish? Because right now, in my head, if this is the game plan, and I know you might just be like buying time and waiting, I'd already be running. Because the weird part about calling it like this, so it's like it secures the neutral for you to approach from full screen to half screen, but now you're half screen and you're playing neutral down an assist. Let me make sure this isn't important real quick. Oh no, that's just the. I'm smart. Okay, but yeah, so now you're here and it made getting to this part easier, but the problem is that's usually the easiest part of neutral to navigate and play anyway. Still get around, you get the hit, you got a heavy counter hit. What are we doing? First Fuglo B&B? Yeah, okay. Understood. This isn't quite gonna kill. So one of the things you start getting towards recognizing, like transitioning from beginner to intermediate, is you start really getting more comfortable with your damage values and understanding when things will kill versus when they won't. And so the really awkward thing about like doing your full route and just spending everything, especially if you're using Lady of Slaughter, is now it's kind of just scrambly. You've lost control in a sense. And so even, and because like I'm not even necessarily saying go into resets. Ideally, that's the end game, but for now, while you're still mostly focusing on getting your combo consistent and doing all that sort of stuff, even just ending on this fireball leaves you in a much better state. And so if you don't want to start thinking about resets fully, because again, that's its own like that's its own can of worms to open. That's a lot to get into. Kind of just thinking about how can I end these combos if I don't think they're gonna kill in a way that I'm still in control. Because now we're kind of just back to neutral again. You got tagged. That happens. What range is this? Okay, up back. Usually jump medium kick is a little bit better here. Minor thing, I think it still loses. First, get her off of you. Okay. Oh, wait, we did all that work to save our Dahlia, and then... Oh, wait, no, that was their assist. My brain is short-circuiting. Sorry. Okay, trying to make too many points at once. So, where were we? So, respecting the zoning, I kind of understand. But it takes a while for Annie to set her zoning up. And the biggest thing when I'm like trying to get people to think about neutral, and so like I'm an Eliza player. My favorite way to think about neutral, especially for a character like this, is what ranges do my buttons cover? Or the counterpoint to that, what ranges am I a threat? How do I represent something my opponent has to deal with? So when you're shimmying quite at this range... So Eliza has some really good standing buttons. She has her stand heavy punch, she has her caught, she has her stand heavy kick. They all serve similar purpose. They cover a chunk of space, and they're pretty big disjoints. So if you want to make your opponent like worry a little bit more, if you want your neutral to be more effective, I would really recommend holding this space, if not walking slightly forward, because that is a spacing Eliza really likes to be at. And it depends on how you want to play your Eliza, because if you want to be a little more aggressive and rush down, you want to be a little bit closer to threaten 2 medium punch and jump light kick. There's not going to be a correct way to play neutral. There is going to be strong like play styles, and so you can kind of figure out which ones you like the most, which ones you feel are the strongest. And I would suggest thinking about neutral as in a baseline. Think about neutral as what spacing do I want to be to use the tools I like to use. So again, like I was talking, is my mouse getting captured? No. Can I? Properties, capture cursor. There we go. So if you're here, again, if I'm talking about like playing the slow mid-range disjoint game, if you're here, you have your stand heavy punch, you have your caught, you have your stand heavy kick. Those are really good options. If you are slightly closer here, all of a sudden instant air dash, jump light kick, and 2 medium punch are high-low threats in range. And on top of that, if they're afraid and not pressing, you're a simple dash throw, like dash away from being in throw range, because Eliza's also got a really strong throw. And so I think thinking about neutral in terms of like threat ranges will help you a lot. In terms of kind of getting a feel for what you want to do. That's a very aggressive throw. Not a bad option. It's just a big call out. Oh no, jump medium kick. Oh, they don't know what the bones do. Bite. Oh, wait, was that... You have your inputs on. Wait, which one are player 1 inputs? I forget. That's the bottom, right? Yeah. Heavy punch. Medium punch. Heavy punch. Super? Quarter circle back to recall. And I don't think you get the OTG with skeleton after bite. Wait, what did I miss? How'd you get hit? So, and this is not going to be just an Eliza thing. Offense in this game is nuts. It's bonkers. It sucks to deal with. But this game gives you one of the best defensive tools in fighting games, period. And you, right now, currently are not using it, and it is push block. Push block is a very strong defensive mechanic that allows you to buy space, buy time, and then through push block you get access to even more like higher level defensive mechanics further on down that I'm not going to worry about too much. But you're all of a sudden playing, if you're not using push block, you're playing a stagger pressure game and a game with magic series and plus unblock specials. And very minimal pushback because this game is designed around push block. So if you're not push blocking anything, this Annie is constantly in threat range. And like you said earlier, or like you were asking, what do I do on defense? It's really scary to try and act out of this because it's just Annie's turn. Even if it's a magic series, like it's just either a true block string or frame trap's always in her favor. So you're kind of just having to hold this. But you don't have to. You push block any of these hits. I'll just turn the cursor back on. Why not? You push block any of these hits. Annie is right here. Annie gets push blocked to back here. And then all of a sudden you're out of range of her throw, her lows. She can air dash at you, but that's pretty reactable, especially at that range. Like, the only thing she really has to threaten you here are 5 medium punch and 6 heavy punch, which means you can kind of just up back or stand block. And if they choose either of those, you can just push block her again, and then she's here. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're playing neutral again. If you push block her and then she tries to run in, you can check that approach. So the short of it is push block really strong for defense because it creates a ton of space, so it limits their threat. As well as it just gives you like more time to react. Because stuff that reaches that far is going to be a lot slower. And like being patient and blocking, like overall you're holding a lot. You just need to push block more. Because then you'll get this Annie off of you and you'll have a much easier time blocking. So yeah, we are just not push blocking. Yeah, it's hard to get over that. Ooh. Is that what you wanted? What's the game plan here? Yeah, it was what you wanted. Raw tag is a very risky reversal. Regardless of which raw tag it is, some are better than others. Oh no. That sucks. Okay, I'll pause. Some raw tags are better than others, but they all risk essentially one of the biggest punishes in the game for going for a kind of panic reversal option. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes you're right. But when you're... It's a very poor risk reward the majority of the time. Again, some are better than others. Bella players get away with highway robbery because that tag is probably one of the best in the game and the hardest to punish. So it's like one of the hardest to punish. And so it's something I want to really disincentivize, especially beginners, from going for too much, because it can be a really bad habitual mash or a habitual panic option. Kill. Okay. Mistimed incoming slightly? Yeah, you're playing this like a stagger pressure game. Now we gotta use push block. Push block helps so much. It makes defense so much easier. People say my defense is good. I just use push block, dude. Like... So the awkward thing about this is you have the... Oh, nice. You have the life lead and you're playing patient. You won't have the life lead for 30 seconds. And so I can understand playing patient, especially like not wanting to be in Fukua's threat range is terrifying, but at the same time it's not a winning game plan, especially because she tends to want to be in the air, so your giant step is a lot less effective than it would be versus like Peacock or Double or Parasol. or like full screen giant step tends to catch them a little bit more because they're on the ground for a lot of their game plan. It's not the case for Fuqua. So instead of doing any of this, being around this range, if not a little closer, is quite solid because you can space Embrace in a way that people cannot punish. It gets a bit used to being used, or it gets a bit, wow. Retry. It takes a little bit to get used to. But spaced Embrace is a really strong neutral tool. Same thing with Elbrass, but Elbrass kind of works differently because it actually doesn't have armor. You have those, and then like after this, you can just start running at them and then jump and try and land on them with jump light kick, because jump light kick is really hard to deal with, just universally. But so now we're running ourselves to the corner again. Run in, land on them with, yes, exactly what I was talking about. Okay. There we go. Nice.
Brass to the face puts a fool in their place.
Player 1 wins.
Pick me up in 10. Oh, make it 3.
This is true love we're making. Let's rock.
Not bad.
Oh! I am so happy you're already trying to go for this. This is a really good idea. Honestly, kind of unfortunate you didn't get it. It's interesting. Because you play like you understand the fighting games and you're new to Skullgirls. Oh, you're not Philia, that's not plus. Oop, that messed up. Push lock, nice. Okay, I want to see more and more of that. Fireball in neutral is... It's not something you use outright just for neutral. Well, let me double check to make sure that was just the input you wanted in general. I went way past it. Oops. Push block. Wait, what? Oh, the player side swapped. Okay, I was looking at the wrong inputs. Okay, you did want that. I guess you wanted to bail after the drill, but part of the question is why full screen drill? Yeah. Part of SG is dealing with this. Knowing they have a DP assist and doing whatever you can the second you see them coming on screen to just recognize and turn the button pressing part of your brain off. With a couple exceptions. But so like here, easiest layer 1 is to at this point, especially because you've got the time for jump heavy kick to drag you to the ground, to work on recognizing, okay, they've got a DP assist. I'm not allowed to press. The one, and the reason I said there's asterisks, like there's exceptions. I need to go back a little bit on that. Is there are ways around it. So let's go frame by frame. If you come here, are they still? Wait. What's the symbol for blocks? I forget. Yeah, they're no longer in blocks from here. So, oh yeah, because they land canceled. Right, sorry. So here, if you want to call them out for a very basic, like a defensive habit, a lot of players with DP assist have, a lot of players with assist period have, will call their assist and down back behind it. Because a lot of overheads tend to be slow, and they're just hoping to block and have you swing into an assist. But if they're hoping you're swinging and they're just going, I'm going to block whatever you do, if you throw here, you hit the point, throw animations for both characters involved turn both players invincible. They can't interact with anything else. So the assist phases through you. You get the throw. Your Fukuwa, so you don't get a throw combo here, which is unfortunate. You need bar. You could do armored command throw. It would honestly probably still work, I'm not going to lie. But that armored command throw is the only way for you to get a combo, but you can still nullify the situation and get a chunk of bar and a chunk of damage going for the faster command throw. Oh, it stopped it before it came out. Okay, I understand. Mix. Okay, so we're starting to implement mix a little bit. That's such a good anti-air. Oh. I know it's hard to confirm off of that height. But, oh, you're so close. No. No, I'm not gonna go into it. That's too far in the weeds. Guess wrong. That's not even necessarily an Eliza problem, but that's just not getting mixed. You are very hesitant to press, though. Oh, the hit confirms. It's pain. Yeah, so that's what I was debating whether I wanted to bring up. So, the weird thing about alpha counter here is your safe option is banned, so you lose half your health. You can do it to Eliza and play the you won't get a full combo on me game. Or, and again, I'm an Eliza player, so one thing I'll do that's been working really well, because I'm pretty sure you're running Spiral, right? I'll alpha counter into Spiral, and they have to like, oh, I need to sprint across the screen and press a big button, and you frame trap them with Lady of Slaughter. So it's like you have those options. It's a lot to weigh in the moment. And again, the part of it was just like, this is a more beginner focused VoD review, so I'm not gonna go really far into like, alpha counter is a really good mechanic to be aware of, so I'm glad you were thinking of it, and it'll help you like just already be thinking about it in terms of problem solving. But it's I don't want to go too into the weeds, kind of talking about everything you can do with alpha counter. It's a lot to kind of bring in, so I'm not gonna sweat it too much. One thing you could have done after the burst hits, so like if you're here, block this. You can do fireball, full screen fireball into either of your Dahlia DHCs as well. You can reload bullets. I don't think Fuku can punish you from this range, or you can just get a barrel out and play neutral that way. You can DHC out, and arguably that's a good use of meter. Or wait, no, it's Eliza, not Dahlia. I'm not gonna lie, having the having all the inputs and stuff on is a little, it's cooking me a little bit. Jingly keys. Oh, actually, okay. So, if you know they're going for this, if you know they're like trying to chip you out with projectiles, Eliza tag is pretty quick. React to this, tag into Eliza. Eliza trades with that, and there's no way they get a combo on it whatsoever. And for what it's worth, for like video replays, there's no great option, because like sometimes I'd want to look at the input, sometimes I wouldn't. Ideally, we prefer the replay files. Understand that's not easily done for a lot of people. So I will work with this, don't get me wrong, but the flexibility of having the replays themselves is hard to beat. But yeah, you got caught back. We've seen this. But yeah, so whatchamacallit. If we're playing this like a stagger pressure game, you do still have the option to, and oh, you did actually go for it. So it's like, you can still press your lights. Where is it? 2LP is a pretty good mash on Eliza. It's not the greatest, but it gets the job done if you just are checking gaps with your fastest option. That's what 2LP is. For the record, jab is also just as fast, but your jab goes really high, so unless someone's jumping at you, 2LP tends to be a lot better. Yeah, so if we're not focusing on push blocking, which again, I would just recommend like mostly focusing on push blocking. Trying to push block any of these and get this Fuku away from you. If you want to press, you've got your fast light, you've got your reversal, which has its asterisks, because Eliza, unfortunately, is really easy to jump over her reversal. It's throw vulnerable, so it's got a plethora of weaknesses. Another pretty decent Eliza option is to jump either up back, neutral jump, or up forward. Up back gets caught by pre-block, so you'll get caught by lows. Neutral jump and up forward will still get hit by meaty pressure, but they won't get you stuck on the ground. If you jump and press jump light kick, it tends to be a pretty fast option that outright beats throws. If people aren't meaty and you like essentially low crush them by jumping over, that's always a bonus. So it's like those are your pretty common defensive options with Eliza. Yeah, it confirms. Feels bad. Oh, I mean, you can kill there. Wow, okay, that just happened. Mashing? Can't quite get turnaround. Our band needs to be a little bit more comfy and neutral. Your band is up back until you think they're gonna jump and then full send the train. Band has a ton of pretty strong neutral tools. So you've got jump light kick, you've got cymbals, like I was talking earlier, spaced brasses are really strong. His crouching heavies, his sweep, and his 2 HP are really strong space tools. Those are the most common things you'll see. Those are the most common ones you'll see. Got it up. Finish your combo. Honestly, I mean, for the most part, your combo consistency is there. I think you probably are, and like I saw you do it with Fuku a little bit. I think you are at the point where it's like, let's start implementing a little bit more mix. If we recognize we're not going to kill, let's not end the combo, because mix is a much better way to keep control of the game. I know we've seen it for Fuqua. I don't know if we've seen it for any of your other characters, but also what happened here? Because I know you asked specifically about Eliza defense, so... Honestly, they kind of did pretty solid defense, but if you want ways out... I think you had a gap here? So yeah, you can be mashing here. You can do caught, and it's kind of hard for Annie to do anything other than respect it. And obviously it's punishable on block. They got really aggressive with this option, but it's a pretty solid one. The one thing here, if we want to talk about defense, is push blocking assist usually really needs to have an intent behind it. I'm not going to say it's never the correct choice, because using assist to get, and again, this is talking a bit more about like higher level defensive stuff that comes from using push block more. More often than not, if you're push blocking the assist, you're using it to get absolute guard, which really helps your defense. Essentially, you don't need to block for 25 frames. Or push block guard cancel to fight your way out and like fight a different gap. Otherwise, you're kind of just locking yourself in block stun and not getting much out of it, because the point's still going to be swinging at you. So that's kind of just an unfortunate push block timing. Ideally, we're not push blocking the assist. Mix. A little too early, I think. Might need to delay the air string a bit more on lights. Oh, what? Twin jab? Sad. A little too early. I really appreciate that you're trying to anti-air. It's hard to do to this character. At least for jump heavy punch. Alright, what's your band doing? Neutral can't just be H-ring. Oh no, was that supposed to be E-break? No, you... I think the breast needs to be M-brass if you want the hit after. Might even need to be Kara. Could be wrong. I'm not a band player. I cannot play this character for my life. Oh, this band, this band, this band. This band needs a little bit of work. Your band has a really bad habit of push blocking and then instantly SSJing after the push block. Usually you're gonna do one or the other. Bang! I'm low-key shocked that worked. Do we know? Oh no. Okay, so I don't know if this was panic or if you just have a different route than I do. But genuinely, the one I know is launcher and then you delay because you want it to uncombo so the scaling resets. And then you just do up forward, jump heavy kick first, jump heavy kick into jump heavy punch. You do the rebeat, it lets you. And then just back into launcher. Launcher, delay, jump heavy kick, jump heavy punch. Launcher, delay, jump heavy kick, jump heavy punch. I don't know necessarily how consistent the one you were doing is, But either way, find one that works for you that you can do consistently, because dropping a double snap is very painful. What? Wait. This is hurting. Okay. That's kind of just unfortunate. Yeah, you hit the assist, and he slinked under, being small. I got hit too, honestly. That's devious mix. Again, I'll reiterate with the raw tag. It's a very sketchy defensive option. Like I was saying earlier, you push block, instantly SSJ. Very consistently. So the reason your big band scares me, and the way I kind of want you to think about it, if I choose to just do nothing, you leave your big band out to die. Almost instantly.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Because A-Train is very heavily punishable. Okay, we got a new set. Yeah, A-Train is very punishable. Anytime you block SSJ is very punishable. So it's like, start thinking about your other options in neutral. Start trying to, and Ben's one of the characters you have to do this a little bit more, start trying to pay attention to what your opponent's game plan is, and then select your tools to pick it apart. There we go. The drop. Bop, bop. So kind of going back to the first thing I talked about. What are we doing with this A-Train, or what are we doing with this brass call? What is the intent? Because it seems like you call it and then go, oh, brass is on its way. But one thing you can think about, just as an example, if I'm using brass to force them in the air, all of a sudden I'm Fuqua below them with some of the best anti-airs in the game. It's not a bad game plan. I just kind of want the brass call to be a bit more intentional. Food for thought, things to think about. Push walk. Love to see it. I caught up back in. It happens. I am gonna say it. So, what was the situation that happened here? You could have died for this fireball. They can reaction super. I just want you to be aware. Again, raw tag, very sketchy defensive tool. Good to use in specific instances for callouts, but the risk reward is tough. And for what it's worth, what? Wait. Oh, okay. It's a hit grab and it just barely caught your toes, I guess. Because you were holding up forward. Oh, I love this game. And good night. Yeah, ratio, you're done. Yeah, I am noticing a tendency in neutral. And granted, Fugo can kind of do it, but it's not necessarily a game-winning strategy. A tendency to just up back away from the world. It's kind of your neutral. That sucks. Do they know? Oh, they did. They just messed it up. I figured something weird was going on there. That did not look normal. But again, I do nothing, and I wait for your band to just kill itself.
The Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper. And so I'm probably not going to get through this entire video, by the way. Just a heads up, especially because I've been pausing a ton. I'm going to keep going until I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. And so we're getting a couple things pretty repetitive. Let's see what else there is to see. Was that L? Do they know that's safe? I did. Okay, interesting. B. Caught up backing. Oh, you wanted to do it to try and okay. Ratio match. Bonk. How does your band handle? I hate it. Unfortunate drop. I do not like that decision. Definitely gotta prescribe you a bit less raw tagging. Mix. So, Fuqua level 3 is usually something you want to use at the start of a combo, because honestly its damage is kind of pitiful at the end. Baited and outsmarted. Oh, this doesn't work in the corner. Sad. Loki, in this instance, I give you the permission to full send full screen brass. Play for the chip out. It's definitely a risk, but beat. If you do beat extend there and shake on them, I think they die to chip as well. I don't even think symbols works. Oh, what you're saying, light punch, medium punch symbols. I understand. Yeah. Beat. So was that stage 1 into stage 3? Wait, what was that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Combo stages were a little bit weird here. I understand getting mixed up. Wait, when did you use medium punch? Oh, that wasn't medium punch, that was 2LK. Yeah, combo stages at IPS are a little bit weird. Don't worry about why that broke. It's a little silly. Oh, okay, just to give you basically what is happening is because you're on the ground when beat extend hits. Or not quite that. Beat extend is forcing combo stage 2. Using jump heavy kick. If you're going for this confirm a lot, which I think you will be off of your beat extend hits, understand that everything after your jump heavy kick is tracked. So this is not your first combo string. So because you start this with 2LK, your 2LK is tracked. And then the second you reach stage 5, which you do immediately afterwards because you are stage 3, everything is tracked from here on out. So keep that in mind. You can't use 2LK if you use it right after the jump heavy kick. B. And if you don't understand the why, don't worry about that right now. Just understand, off of a beat extend hit, if I do jump heavy kick into 2LK, I cannot use 2LK for the rest of the combo. That is the important part. Don't know why, just understand how to not drop. So again, if you use 2LK here, it'll break. Yeah, I'm gonna see how much more there is, but I have a feeling we've got a couple more games than us before. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm saying a lot of the same stuff. But, again, you really have a tendency to just walk yourself to the corner. I'm glad you already got that from this set. You do have brass and beat extend, so like they are defensive tools. Just understand it is a massive risk calling them in the corner. Yeah. I mean, you know. You said it yourself. Oh no, half my team is just simply dead. Oh. I mean, it wasn't SSJ after push block, it was beat extend this time. Oh, didn't even push block this time, just beat. Oh, whoa, they're dead. They're dead here. Giant step, SSJ, Fuqua. Yeah, you really play this game like a stagger pressure game. That's so interesting. That's so funny. I can only assume you have some other fighting game experience. Because that's usually when this happens. Yeah. We gotta push block. Again, going back to that. Push blocking either of those two make that string so much easier to deal with. Oh, we're just not push blocking anything. Push block into SSJ. Fall on them with jump light kick. Is that naturally fast falling, or are you deliberately... No, okay, yeah. Oh, wait, what did you press? Yeah, it looks like it. I couldn't tell if that was before or after the super flash, but yeah. Sometimes you get caught. It is what it is.
Everyone good to go?
The stare down. Oh, you already used OTG. Also, again, talking about combo stages, you already used sweep once. So even if this sweep hits, they'd be able to burst. But I can't because you had to use OTG for the first one, but... I know that wasn't intentional, but that's really actually funny mix. That'll get me a couple times. So, be careful doing this. It's not a true block string. You'll catch a lot of people with it, but do not get too happy with that. Because knowers will kill you. Ooh, what happened here? Where did drill go? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong inputs. Finish the combo and kill. Yeah, the assist in the corner. Oh, that could have been so much worse. Are you gonna do it again? No, you learned. Yeah, we gotta get a little bit more comfortable with push blocking. It'll help a lot. So, for the record, a really good goal for push blocking is trying to push block by like the second or like somewhere in between 2 to 4 hits or 2 to 4 buttons. That's usually enough time for you to recognize you've been forced to block and to safely push block. Once you get a little bit more advanced, you'll figure out how much you like to preemptively push block, and then you'll learn how to deal with, there's counterplay, because you can bait people to push block and so on and so forth. But for now, you don't gotta worry about none of that. Kind of just think of as a goal. Like right there, that was perfect. Chef's kiss. 2 hits, push block, or like 2 buttons, and you push blocked it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. That is really solid basic defense in this game. And it will get you very far. Ah, pain. Oh, they're so greedy. They could have just snapped. Oh. So, I'm curious if you did this intentionally. But this is a really good learning experience, or a really good example, demonstration. So, if you're unaware, so this 2 medium kick is a multi-hit move for Valentine. That's the first hit that you block. You actually managed to stand up during the gap, which well, no, you block both of them though. But in case you are unaware, only the first hit of multi-hit moves in this game have the overhead or low property. The first hit that you block or get hit by. Everything else behind it will just be a mid. So Cremation is a really good example of this. Squiggly's 2 heavy punch. It's got 3 or 4 hits. You do not have to block all of them low. Whichever first one forces you to block, everything else you can just stand block. So, and it's like, I know you said you come from Guilty Gear. This kills me every time I play Guilty Gear, because one of my friends plays Bedman. And so Bedman has a ton of multi-hit jump-ins that I try to block the first hit overhead, and then I immediately swap my block to low. And I get hit every single time. Because you can do that in this game. So again, band jump light kick is another example. The first hit of band jump light kick you block is an overhead. Everything else will be a mid. So knowing that can make certain defensive interactions a lot less scary because it's not actually a threat. So the more you know. But again, our tendency to just run away into the corner and then call our assist. Get happy birthday. Oh no! What are they doing? They could have just won. Oh, you hate to see it. They probably, I mean, they didn't get their DHC. You should have died. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you just messed up the symbols the first time. Good punish. And the A-train for neutral. Ah, and you got mashed on. You hate to see it. I don't think I've seen your band go for a single throw. Stagger pressure into throws is really strong for band. Giant step is not a bad option, it's just risky. So mix and throw. Big band's throw is like legitimately ridiculous. Alright, take him to the corner. Snap! Let's go, Fugua. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, okay, this one does work. Good to medium kick. I think you can BFF there if you're cracked. What a PBGC. Oh. You kinda got guy, I'm not gonna lie. So, your Fukua by far feels the most natural, and then your band and your Liza are still figuring things out. So, this is a good example for, I kind of want to I want to encourage you to use your jump heavy punch less. Eliza jump heavy punch is a big button. It's not as big as you think it is. Well, it is as big as you think it is in some ways. What I mean by that, everything you see can get hit. Oh, we're not going to see the hurt box come out. So, you take up legitimately like a third of the screen when you press this button. And by take up, I mean you can get hit anywhere on essentially like a third of the screen of the game. Meanwhile, and this is going to be very rough approximation. If you want to see my cursor, the hitbox goes from like here to here. Like, it's a rectangle that doesn't even make up like half of that area. It's still big, but it's not really what the animation makes you think it is. So you get a ton of situations like this where you're just massive and you get clipped by a ton of things by overusing this button. Her jump medium kick is really good. It's also not disjointed. Her jump light kick is a really good IAD option. Her jump light punch is unironically really solid. For specific situations. But SSJ. But yeah, jump heavy punch does not do exactly what you think it does. It's honestly a pretty big gamble in neutral. Oh, we're just getting mixed. Okay. So yeah, I think we're starting to see a lot of the same thing. So like, I covered, honestly, a pretty wide range of topics, and by all means, feel free to like, this VoD is up on Twitch instantly, and we'll probably upload it to YouTube in a little bit. By all means, go through and like revisit any of the small sections I talked about that were more like specific instances. But in terms of broad strokes, things I think will help you improve the most. For Fuqua, it's going to be... Because, your Fuqua, I like a lot of what I'm seeing. It feels very comfortable. Your Fuqua is definitely at the place where you could start implementing mix. And by start implementing mix, I mostly want you to focus on... Because you have a couple different resets, I saw. So you're aware of them. I want you to really focus on understanding, can I kill here? If not, I'm going to mix. Just getting in that mindset and trying to focus on doing that, all of a sudden it will become second nature and you're focusing on other things. But that is the heart of Skullgirls. Understanding what sort of control you have over the game and if you're able to kill the character or not. So for Fuqua, I'd focus on those. For Eliza and Big Band, they're a bit rough around the edges. It feels like you're still feeling them out. I would encourage you to... And again, you don't need to make a full neutral game plan. You don't need to have a flow chart. The way I recommend thinking about it, very simply, which buttons on these characters do you like using the most? So for Eliza, it seems like Jump Heavy Punch is one of them. I would encourage you to explore other options, but it's not necessarily bad. But so, for Eliza, I mean, yeah, it's the same concept for both of them. Figure out which buttons you really like using, which buttons feel strong. So... For Eliza, let's just say Jump Heavy Punch. For Big Band, let's say Jump Light Kick. Because you like getting knocked down and landing on people with Jump Light Kick, which very strong game plan. So we like using those buttons. And just using those singular buttons as an example, think, what range do I need to be at to make that a threat? And so for both of these characters, for using those buttons, it's going to be mid-range, if not slightly closer. Like half screen, 1/3 screen away, and then those buttons are a threat. More 1/3 screen away. And genuinely, that is a really great start to just figuring out your neutral game plan. I like using this button. I want to be in this range to use this button. Focus on getting to that range, and using that button will come naturally, because you already want to press it anyway, because you're building that spacing game plan around which buttons you like to use. And then from there, you'll start understanding, oh, this spacing doesn't quite work as well in this matchup versus this matchup, and then you kind of like start diversifying from there, and your neutral becomes a bit more complex over time. I'd recommend having like 2 or 3 buttons at minimum to focus on. So it's, for me personally, Eliza, my like ranges I'm thinking about are Stand Heavy Punch and Caught, and 2 Medium Punch. Those are like my basic, I love these buttons. Jump Medium Kick is probably also up there. So it's like I'm thinking about what ranges do I enable these buttons to function the best in neutral, and I put myself there, and then I kind of go from there. On top of that, ironing out hit confirms and combos for those, that's just a little bit of time whenever you feel like spending time in the lab focusing on those. So those are the like character specific things. For overall things to focus on, and I'd probably try to focus on 1 or 2 of these at a time. I'll give you 3. So push blocking, again, I would recommend trying to push block somewhere between like the 2nd and 4th button press, or the 2nd, 4th hit you block. It's a very, very strong defensive mechanic, and if you get into that habit, it will save you a lot of work down the line. It's not going to beat every offense. There is counterplay, but it's a really good baseline habit. So push block more. For neutral, for all of your characters, experiment, and again, the like figuring out which ranges you want to hold will help with this, but try to hold your ground or move forward more. You are running yourself to the corner very often. And then the third one is there, and again, there doesn't need to be a whole game plan behind this. I just want you to start thinking a bit more in depth about your assist calls. And by a bit more in depth, I solely mean genuinely just put some thought into, I'm going to call this assist to do this goal or to enable me to do this thing. So again, it's like, oh, I'm full screen as Fuqua and I'd rather be closer. I'm going to start running, and at 3/4 screen, I'm going to call band. And then so it's like, I'm already calling band to facilitate something rather than calling band, seeing what happens on screen, and then trying to make something happen out of it. Because then it's like you've already used up half the time of band coming on screen, just waffling around waiting to figure out what you're going to do. As opposed to, I'm calling this assist to facilitate this choice I'm making. So those are probably the three biggest things. And part of those three big things, is also just getting you in the habit of thinking about those choices. Because it doesn't necessarily need to be a good choice. Like, you're going to make mistakes. That's a whole part of the learning process. There's so much to learn. But just getting familiar with, like, thinking about these things more and doing them with a little bit more intent, all of a sudden, and again, it's just building up an autopilot. It becomes second nature. You don't need to think about it. You repeat the process with higher level concepts, and then all of a sudden, you're playing this game at a really high level. Just give it time, give it thoughtful practice, which is, again, the, like, I just want you to be thinking about the choices you make, as opposed to autopilot them. Because you put thought into it, and so it's like you had a reason for making that choice. And then you learn very quickly whether your thought process was good or if it needs to be adjusted and you're getting steamrolled. And so it's like you were saying, it's like, oh, I'm scared in the corner. I need to call my assist. It can work sometimes, but you're going to very quickly learn, like you just mentioned, calling assist in the corner is a very big risk. It can be a calculated risk. And so, like, I'm not going to say never do something. Do it with intent and learn the consequences, positive or negative, behind doing it. And you will learn this game really quickly. So I hope all of that helps. By all means, if anything I said is confusing, if it doesn't quite make sense, or if something else happened in the background while I was talking about a different concept, please just, I mean, if you're still here, ask away right now. I can clean up any details that way. If anything comes up in the future regarding this, by all means, please ping me in the server with a question, and I'll gladly try and clarify a concept I didn't do well, or, yeah, TLDR. We're both just, we're here to learn. So if something I said doesn't make sense, if you're curious about something, feel free to ask, and I will gladly answer any of those questions as well. I hope this helps. Hope to see you around in the future. And I think I'll be getting the video up and heading out for the night. So have a good one.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh, nice! Ooh!
Oh, we avoided
Let's go.
it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Where's the combo?
you finished this. They died.
It's somewhat of a combo,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but
Yeah.
We got Bombination.
It's like we have some bombas, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.